OpenAI just announced that they're launching ChatGPT Enterprise. Now, this is a version of ChatGPT that has enterprise grade security and privacy, unlimited higher speed GPT-4 access, longer context windows, advanced data analysis capabilities, customization options, and much more. So, this move appears to be a response to enterprise demand for a safe, compliant version of ChatGPT. OpenAI actually said in the announcement of ChatGPT Enterprise, they said, quote, since ChatGPT's launch just 9 months ago, we've seen teams adopt it in over 80% of Fortune 500 companies. And we've heard from business leaders that they'd like a simple and safe way of deploying it in their organization. So now it looks like they're getting just that. So, Paul, I want to kick things off by just straight up asking about the elephant in the room. Did OpenAI just make a bunch of third-party tools that are targeting the enterprise market specifically obsolete?
Yeah, that was my first thought. And, we've known this is coming. They talked about this a few months back that there would be a business version. It's the obvious thing related to, Microsoft Copilot on its way to come out. We're going to talk about Duet AI from Google in a minute. So we knew these big players were going to build enterprise offerings. The question just becomes moving forward, do you need these other third party applications that are doing similar things? I don't know that we can answer that question yet. We're talking with a lot of enterprises that are looking at all their options. And at the moment, no one knows if you can make a single bet on one company because you have some of these third party software companies that are building more enterprise specific capabilities. So all this stuff is great. The security, the context window, the code interpreter slash now known as advanced data analysis. They keep struggling to name this thing something that's relevant. I don't know. The naming conventions are questionable, but the capabilities are not. So you're going to have that code interpreter data analysis capability baked right in. And they teased more advanced version of that is coming, which is going to be crazy. But they're not building in yet like template libraries and the ability to segment by teams and the ability to, build in by persona, although they did tease roles and functions are coming. So data analysts, marketers, customer support, style guides, things like that, that some of these other players are. It's not HIPAA compliant. So if you're looking at healthcare, they're not HIPAA compliant yet. So if you're in the healthcare space, you probably can't just rely on this one. So enterprise purchasing is complex. There's lots of decisions that go in or variables that go into making decisions. So I don't think we can just say, and I'm sure there's been headlines like, oh, it's a third party app killer or whatever. It's not yet. So I think that what you're going to do is see a lot of trials, a lot of experimentation, trying to figure out what is it actually capable of and does it eventually limit the need for multiple tools that do this. But I mean, we're giving guidance right now that you just need to experiment. Like we can't confidently say, yep, you don't need all those other tools now. It's just ChatGPT Enterprise is going to solve everything.
Yep.
But it's becoming more cloudy. You have ChatGPT Enterprise. We're going to talk about Google Workspace. You have Grammarly Go. You have Jasper. You have Writer. You have you have the direct with the foundation models. Go build with Cohere. Go build with Anthropic. Like it's getting really, really complicated. And I don't know anyone that actually has the answers because I don't know that they're there yet. I do think the path currently is to have strategies in your company, to have teams who are experimenting with all of these advancements and have multiple vendors that they're testing for different use cases that are most relevant to your company. And then we're going to have to see over the next few months how this all plays out.
Did any features specifically mentioned as part of ChatGPT Enterprise stand out to you as particularly important, either for ChatGPT specifically or overall for enterprise grade tools?
Well, the enterprise side in particular is that they're not going to train on your business data or conversations, and the models won't learn from your usage. That's a huge issue for enterprises to get this through procurement, to get it through secure, cybersecurity and IT, and so that's just an essential step. I've seen some people like, yeah, I don't really trust them. Like, there's going to be that. Like, are they really not? But I think that was a big issue that they had to resolve. It's faster. Unlimited GPT-4 use is a huge deal. If you're scaling this in an enterprise, you can't be hitting caps every 6 hours during the day. the context window, I think it means up to about 25,000 words in each prompt. So that's huge in terms of its capabilities. And then again, I think the code interpreter, formerly known as code interpreter, now known as advanced data analysis, um, that to me is probably one of the great unlocks
Mm,
that most companies aren't even really thinking about yet. I think it can be a very disruptive technology once companies learn how to use it properly, and especially once the next version of it comes out. So that definitely jumped out at me. And then they did tease a self-serve version for smaller teams because I have no idea if we even qualify. Like they don't have pricing on the site about it. You can only go in and request access, which I did for Marketing Institute, but I assume that we're not going to get it anytime soon.
mm.
I assume they're prioritizing for like 1,000 plus person company or something like that. So I don't have no idea if we'll get it, or if we're gonna have to wait around for the business for smaller teams version. They're pretty, they're not sharing those details right now.
So you mentioned a bit about some of the considerations enterprises might have adopting this type of tool. Do you have any predictions about where this is going a little beyond the short term? I mean, it does seem like OpenAI has a huge advantage in the fact that simply everyone knows about and has used ChatGPT over other, perhaps less accessible or well known platforms. Like, where do you see this going?
Uh, so if I was OpenAI, I would buy one of the third-party applications and I would build the killer AI writing app. Like
Mm,
they're gonna like right now they're playing nice with these third-party tools and they're letting them have access to their APIs. And OpenAI to date probably isn't built to commercialize products. Like this is all new to them. ChatGPT sort of threw them into this world of building enterprise software. Go buy somebody who knows how to build enterprise software, just build it. Like if they do that, now we're talking about like a total shift in the tech landscape here
mm,
because there's nothing stopping them from doing that. And if you can just go buy a team that already has built an enterprise platform, enterprise user interface, understands the enterprise, if they chose to, they could take over this market. I think. I mean, they obviously have the technology for it. It would appear they're just lacking that kind of go to market strategy of building the software and the user interface and then having the team behind it. I will say there was like this moment yesterday. So I lost access, like many people, to my ChatGPT Plus account yesterday. I went to log in yesterday morning. This was on Thursday, August 31st, and it was just gone.
mm.
My chat history was gone. My account was gone. And I was like, did me applying for enterprise like reset my account somehow? Like, what is going on? So I put it on Twitter and I tagged Logan, the guy that, we've talked about OpenAI. I don't remember Logan's last name, but he's really active on Twitter, shares a lot of stuff at OpenAI. And so I tagged him. I was like, this is a known issue. And he responded right away. He's like, yeah, I got the same issue right now. So it was like obviously widespread. And I had actually gone into their customer support, the question in my account in ChatGPT, and like interface with them in a chat. And it was like kind of a push button, like what's your issue, billing, account, whatever. So it wasn't like a true interface with GPT-4 or anything. But despite the fact that I'm sure they were getting flooded, someone actually responded to me within like 20 minutes.
Mm.
And I was like, well, this is interesting. They have a customer support like movement at OpenAI. So it just started like that thought in my mind of wow, if they wanted to build like a really impressive customer support engine, an onboarding engine, a partner program, and like acquire or build like an enterprise software play,
Mm.
it could be trouble for the ecosystem, for the the other players in the market, because I don't know that Google and Microsoft are going to do that. Like they haven't shown that ability yet, I don't think. So if OpenAI wanted to be the go-to like SaaS play here, they could probably do it pretty quickly and they got the money to do it.